What is up, guys? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be doing the disassembly and maintenance of the Sencut Glidestrike. Let's get into it. All right, I do recommend a good set of Weehaw bits. They're linked way down below. So go down below where you see the description, click on more, and then just go all the way to the bottom and you'll see tools and other recommendations outside of retailers that are really going to help you when it comes to your knife tool and maintenance. All this stuff that I use is linked down there. It should be clearly identified. If anyone sees that it is not, just let me know in the comments and I'll make sure and get that corrected. All right, now with this one, I did adjust the pivot. I think it is T8 on either side. It is not captive, but I think I was able to fidget with it enough to get this one to back out. I believe the bolt is on this side. I'm kidding. It is not going to come out easily, unfortunately. I think I tightened it up because it was coming a little loose. It had a little bit of blade play like right out the box, guys. And then I had to tighten it up. So I'm going to grab the other T8. I do have these little finger bits linked down there. I found them on Amazon. They're very affordable. Again, I do think that, I'm going to close this. I do think that the bolt head is actually on the other side, on the show side. So let me try to back that out and see if it comes out this side. I'm trying to watch the both. Oh, is it? No, I have it backwards. Just kidding. So the bolt's on the opposite, on the back side. I did not flip it. That's how it came from the factory. We're just going to set this to the side and let's go ahead and remove the T6 off the back here. It should be the back, furthest back. Oh, I did want to check. Oh yeah, these could be tightened. I did not loosen them. That one could not be tightened. And that did help a little bit with it from moving around too much. Oh, let me take this. That'll help you. All right, so we're going to remove the one that is in the standoff, which is the furthest one back. There we go. I do have this link down there as well, but you can just use your bit driver with a T6. I just have this dedicated one. It sounded like the heat treat on it was really good, so it was recommended to me, and so far it's held up. I can definitely update you guys to let you know long term how that's performing. You don't have to take the pocket clip off for the disassembly. Just know that in case you don't want to do that. If you do want to take it off, if you want to get underneath the scale, you would need to do so. You can see inside here. This is what the inside. I've been asked by a couple people to show the inside when I have it disassembled a little bit closer, so that you guys get a really good look at what the inside looks like, and then showing the scale on this side. I think it's from some scale makers that are out there that have asked me to do that. So I do try to be accommodating. I never really realized why people may check the disassembly videos out, but that is potentially one of the reasons. I am kind of curious too. I don't think it's going to make a difference because it actually looks like the lock bar is already moved over pretty far, but I'm going to just put a little bit of extra bend in there, not too much, nothing crazy, just to see if it does anything with the action, the detent anyway, and go from there. As you can see, it's not captive. There's no D shape or anything like that to it. It's just milled. Oop, I dropped the stop pin and the standoff. It is just milled down onto the scale. Sorry guys, I'm a little distracted there. I was trying to see where it went, but it fell over here. So we're going to put, well actually let's clean it while we have it apart. I do recommend very light oiling too, especially with the micarta. You can already see the track forming, because if you put too much, it will leak out, and that will show on the, yeah, it's tight, really tight on there. That'll show on the micarta in that one spot. So just keep that in mind. Also, I forgot to mention, make note of the fact that your bearings, your stamp bearings, closed face side down into the blade, faced into the blade. Let's go ahead and clean this up here. Grab my T6 and get in here and let you guys see what I'm doing. So just, whatever you do your thing to get in here and get it clean. And then I am going to grab really quick my circuit board cleaners. I'm going to have to break into a new package here soon. I'm almost out. So I'll grab one of these. Set that to the side. I'll clean that up off camera to save a little bit of time. And then I use this to just clean out the detent ball hole. And that can make a difference on how the detent feels. And you can see there, it was pretty dirty down in there. Pretty dirty. I'm going to flip it over to the other side. And just the same thing. Clean that out really good. Yeah, like you can see down in there, nice silver clean. We're going to go ahead and just reinstall. These are the 5mm, what is it, 364? Which one's smaller? 1/16? I think it's 5mm 3/16. These were pretty dirty, guys. A lot of dirt, unless I reused that spot. All right, so those are nice and clean now. Did I miss anything? I got the pivot, got the blade, and I got the bearings. We should be good to go. Oh yeah, it's not awful, but they definitely, could use some cleaning, which just means it's going to improve the action even more, believe it or not. It already had really good action, but I think that was because of the weight of the knife. All right, let's get our oil. Let me show you what I do to prevent too much lube getting all over the place. So I'm actually now working these in a little bit more and being a little less generous. Again, just enough to help with some resistance and just working it in. And I can still see that there's oil on the finger, so that should be a good amount. You don't need too much there. Again, remember your bearings were facing stamp side open to the blade. Ooh, that is a lot of oil, JD. Jeez. So we'll work these in, and you see I have a ton on my finger, so I'm just going to move to the other hand and try to get some of that back off. We'll grab the blade and drop that down on top, and then I'll use the excess oil here on this finger to kind of work it onto the bearings. I don't want it drooping, because I don't want it to leak onto the micarta. I want to keep that even, consistent look. Now, it will patina as you use it, but I like that. I just don't want it to come from the pivot because I know that's not natural. I know that's more from, oh, that's too much. That's more from the oil, the excess oil coming out. I do like to put a little drop in front of the detent ball. Again, that's just to help the detent ball track as it's breaking in, feel nice and smooth. Don't forget to reinstall your lanyard standoff penny thingy in the back for those out there that use it for a lanyard. That's what it's for. And then you got your stop pin here. So that's what everything's going to look like reinstalled. Again, make sure you got both your standoffs. You got your your lanyard barrel, stop pin, pivot, and bearings all facing internally. Go ahead and reinstall your scale and liner. If you took it apart, just put them back together. Here, I'm going to go ahead and just get this one in the back going because I want to try to snug up this pocket clip to keep it from moving around too much. So let me just check. That feels good. That feels good. I'm going to go ahead and install the pivot, and then I'll do that last T8 last. The remaining T8 last. There you go. English is hard, guys. English is hard. It is spinning around on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and install the T8 to keep the scale in place and the liner and the scale. And then we'll grab the little T8 that I have over here. And I am going to go ahead and just close it, guys. I know it's not centered yet. We'll go ahead and flip it this way because I like to hold this with my left hand. And since I'm right hand dominant, makes it a little bit easier to put it back together this way. Oh my gosh, there we go. So once you kind of pin everything down, you should be able to get this to go in easily. All right, that's too tight, so we're going to back it out slightly. And hopefully this won't be too hard to adjust. That's the only disadvantage when it's not captive. It's a little hard to adjust. So our centering looks nice. little bit of play. I do need to tighten it back up a little more. I took it too loose. All right, let me fix it first, and then we'll worry about breaking it a little bit more. So they did install it with the bolt head on the pocket clip side, and I was able to tighten it up without having to grab that extra pivot for the non-captive side. Lord have mercy, English is hard. Little tiny bit of play. Let me just see if I can get it any further without having to grab. Oops. Missed. All right, it moved a little bit more. If you find it is a balancing act to get it to be like guillotine action, controlled fall shut action. So play with it, and if you find that it backs out, you can either try to go a little bit further with the pivot, or you can use some thread locker. This didn't have any. Feels a little bit more controlled. Doesn't feel any different that I can tell with the detent. Still, it felt good before, I guess is what I'm saying. The sound sounds better, so let me be quiet. Let's listen to the sound of the closing. Before, it felt more thud. That could have been where it was gummed up, where I used the circuit board cleaner to clean that detent ball hole. So let's take a listen. It is backing out a little bit, so I'm going to tighten it up. Yeah, so definitely feels better. That is the maintenance and disassembly for your Sencut Glidestrike. I hope this helped you guys. Leave any questions that you have down in the comments below. Again, all of this stuff is linked down in the comment section below. You just got to click more to get to it, and it'll take you to, again, the tools. The knife will be linked down there. The thread locker, the oil, the circuit board cleaning stuff, all that will be linked down there. I really do like this model. I feel like Sencut is a great place to, spend some money on someone if you want to try to gift them a pocket knife to see if they'd be interested at all. If you want some beaters, I think I tightened it a little too much. That's a great brand for that, and I think they do one of the cleanest offerings that you can get at this price point. The good thing about the flat scale, even though this does want to still move a little bit, you can get the titanium milled pocket clip, and I think that getting the blacked out one would really improve the appearance of this one. But as far as like quality for $40, I know it's 9CR guys, but the quality is really quite impressive for $40. Shout out to everyone out there that likes, uses those links to help the channel, comments, and is subscribed. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.